Hi, so welcome to this bumper edition episode of the Check It Out Show, live from Bett 2023. And we've got a fantastic show lined up with you, for you. We have had amazing conversations with so many edtechs across the whole of the event. We're almost at the end of the event now, although we're talking now at the beginning of this particular episode. But I wanted to hear from someone who is not only someone I massively respect, but what she doesn't know about making things work within a business, not necessarily edtechs as well, isn't worth knowing. I'm really pleased to have Caroline Wright, Director General from the British Educational Suppliers Association, BESA, if you know them with their shorter name. Caroline, how has the Bett event been for you?
Exhausting, but in a really, really good way. So last year I loved Bett. I had a really great time and it was lovely to reconnect and re-engage with people, and I thought it was fantastic. But coming here this year just made me remember, oh wow, this is what Bett's like. It's a Bett kind of everybody, worldwide Bett. So it's kind of our UK companies, UK teachers, UK suppliers, and then the rest of the world coming to us, and it's just been fantastic. So I'm really, really enjoying it. So for me, it's been exhausting, but in a brilliant way. And I've reconnected with members, because I've seen lots of members in screens, and we're obviously doing more online, which is fantastic. But it is so lovely to see people face to face.
And the thing is, you know me, audience, technology is something I live and breathe for. But if you want anything to work, it's always about the people, isn't it, right? And so having everyone come back together at an event such as Bett, absolutely brilliant. Could you, for people who might not know what BESA actually is, Caroline, could you share a bit about what it is and what is your relationship with Bett?
So, BESA, my organisation, I might look old enough, but it wasn't actually me, 40 years ago, set up the Bett Show. It originally started in a small tabletop hall exhibition in a hall in the Barbican in London for BESA members who were at the forefront of digital ICT, what we now call EdTech. That was that long ago. And it's just grown and grown and grown into the global Bett Show that it is. BESA no longer runs and owns Bett, but what we do is what I like to describe, we're partners of the show, and I hope sort of the education conscience of the show. We work with the organisers who are wonderful to work with, to really share with them what are the trends, what are the issues in education, to help them shape the content and the way that the shows run, so that it really delivers what teachers need to help engage and inspire and ignite them.
Oh, look, thank you for sharing that, and a big fan of your work, and it's lovely to hear that sort of bit of history as well. I would never think that you were one of the original founders of BESA, Caroline. I wanted to ask you, this is a question I often get asked when people talk to, so obviously there's the how has Bett been for you, but what has been sort of the sort of best thing for you in terms of any innovations you might have seen? What have been the key trends at Bett this year?
The key trends, I think, are really what you see sometimes in the Bett Futures corner, some of the really innovative startups. I think we're seeing a huge lot of really great well-being solutions, because we do have, whether it's us as adults and teachers or our children, there is a mental health crisis. We're all sort of coming through sort of the aftermath of COVID, and actually there are some really helpful tools and solutions. I've just been talking to a lady on our stand who's got, when you need help, you need it, and obviously there are places like the Samaritans and so on, but actually there's a tool where students can actually, at university, just press and someone's there. And that's when, if that's 2-3 o'clock in the morning, it's kind of something that's available through universities. And those sorts of, that's not particularly, that's not groundbreaking technology. We can do that. But actually, what I love is putting it together in an educational context where it will really deliver the help that's needed. So those sorts of things are really inspiring. All of the curriculum content is always amazing as well.
Awesome stuff. If I was to sort of take a finger at the pulse of things beyond the events, obviously there are two letters that are on the tip of everyone's tongue at the moment when it comes to technology, and those are the letters A and I. We haven't seen much of that here this year. Do you think it's going to be more of a trend when we come to look at, and don't forget, Bett next year will be in January, so we're only actually 9 months away, aren't we?
No.
Do you think that will be something that's more prevalent in the Bett next year, and do you have any insights as to what might be happening at Bett in January?
I don't have sort of huge insights in the set, but what I do know is everybody who's here pretty much wants to be here again. It's been so good. So what I really would like to see, and we saw our Secretary of State, Gillian Keegan, make a statement on AI on Wednesday, which I welcome. I think it's good. It was basic principles and a kind of start of a conversation. That's welcome, and I really think we should be getting school leaders, industry together in a room with the Department for Education to talk about that in more detail. That's good. But actually, our schools and our industry are really capable at knowing what they're doing in their schools. But actually on something like AI, that's where we need global leadership. And we're seeing different countries are making their own statements, and different countries have their own attitudes and cultural comfortableness with kind of the use of technology and how it's used and its operations and the ethics behind it. But actually, we really need global education leaders at government levels to talk about what do we do as humans, as our societies around the world, because you can have national guidelines, but something will happen elsewhere. What's the basic level that we are comfortable with? And let's have the conversations so that things can be developed and used in different contexts in a safe and good way, because I think the power of AI is amazing, and it can be transformative, but we need to make sure that we're right from the start developing it in the way that it would be healthy and safe in an educational context.
I think you're absolutely right as well with that, because the thing is, we see people from Microsoft talking about their ethics of AI board and so forth and so on, but like it or not, your Microsofts, your Googles, your whoever's will have a vested interest, and so I think it's important that when you say about it being at a governmental level, because the people are then hopefully a bit more altruistic or removed, and you hope having conversations at that right kind of a humanistic level. Lovely comments, thank you. I wanted to spend a moment with your Beezer hat on. It is a Check It Out show. You've launched something at the Bett show as well. Fantastic new reports. Do you want to share a little bit about the report for me, Caroline? Is that
lovely.
okay?
Yeah, actually it's two reports.
Oh,
it's
two
really
reports,
exciting. So we've got two reports. So we've been busy. So the first report is aimed at head teachers, school leaders.
Yep.
So it's actually BESA carries out research in the UK of thousands of schools, and we're really grateful for schools for helping us with that. We get insights every year on what are the challenges, what do schools need, what are schools doing, kind of are they happy with their connectivity, are they struggling with issues about the cloud, how much tech do they need, have they got the computers they need, have they got the content or access to it, what are the challenges, do they need teacher training issues and support. We look at that every year, and we have those reports that, that's a large part of one of our membership benefits. So that helps our companies create and improve their products and services so they better fit what schools need. So that helps schools as well. But then we looked at that data and thought, this is amazing, it's really, really helpful. But actually, how can that be applied to help a school leader? So I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's on our website. It's a digital strategy tools for school leaders, and it gives tips on, so this is the statistic, I don't know, I can't remember the exact statistic, but this many percentage of schools are kind of struggling with cloud. Some questions for a school leader, kind of, in that case, have you thought about how have you developed your strategy towards the cloud? It asks questions as a kind of a sort of hopefully inspire leaders to think, we can talk about that. What are we doing? A checklist for digital leadership. So that's one survey and one report.
That sounds brilliant. And one of the things that trust leaders struggle with as well is to know what a good one looks like. And so if they can pull on and leverage some of the pain points and knowledge that others have generated through your report, great thing to do. So check it out on the BESA website. Yeah,
that's what the first one. Yeah, it's downloadable. Everybody can download it from the BESA website. And the second one, I'm really, really proud that we've collaborated with the Educate Ventures, which is led by Professor Rose Luckin, who is a renowned AI expert, but she's also hugely knowledgeable about EdTech evidence and efficacy and how you do proper research to kind of make sure that you can prove the outcomes from your products and check that they're delivering what they need. We've worked with her to talk to our BISA members to say, well, what research are you carrying out, and so that will be interesting for schools, interesting for industry, interesting for users. And we've put together a digest. So we've got Educate Ventures kind of giving a little bit of context and analysis of some of the research, and it's a digest that schools and everyone in the industry can download. So those 2 reports, quite exciting.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you, Caroline. And I've had a chance to read the second report that Caroline mentioned, and it is easily digestible. It's quite a short report, but again, a bit like the first one you described, it's those little nuggets in there, which are the takeaways that help school leaders or decision makers around technology have a few good sort of bullet point headlines, things about what a good one looks like in those sort of choices they can make. So thank you. I know you've been so busy and you're so tired. Thank you so much for taking some time to join me here on the show.
And well done you, and everything you're doing I think is amazing. And if you haven't visited the NetSupport show during the Bett show, everybody should, because it's just lovely to see. And the Check It Out show, you're championing the sector, so thank you.
Oh, do you know what? She's preempted my very last question. I said, well, I was going to say, what do you think of NetSupport? And she did it. It's almost like one mind, Caroline. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm really excited to be interviewing our friends over here. So can you first of all tell us, what is your service or solution?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Ottavio.
I'm Dario.
And we're from Tansy TV. So what we do is we go around inspiring and motivating primary school children to stay active. So as well as going into schools, we also have our online website to get kids more active.
Fantastic. And what makes your solution different from others?
I'd say definitely being brothers. So Tansy TV is essentially myself and Ottavio. So we started during the lockdown. We were both working as primary school support assistants during this time, really noticing the negative effects of the lockdown was having on children's physical and mental well-being. So we just wanted to make a change. So we started a YouTube channel, seeing got millions of views, and we knew we found something that we really enjoy. We know it can make a difference. So as well as continuing to create our fitness videos, we also go out into schools to really inspire children as much as we can.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And what would you say are kind of the biggest benefits from your solution?
Well, really just seeing the smiles on children's face, of course, knowing that you're doing something that they're benefiting not only in the short term but the future as well. By introducing children to fitness and healthy lifestyles from such a young age, it means they're so much more likely to really continue that as they get older. So really just making sure that something positive is being done about it. Would you say the same thing?
I 100% agree with that. It's just keeping it fun, keeping it fitness, all related, and just to see those smiles on those faces makes it all worth it.
Yeah, well, you made us all smile this morning with our warm-up as well.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And what is the best way for people to get in touch with you to find out more about your solution?
So we're on all social medias at Tansy TV. As well as this, we've got our email, info@tansy.tv. We've also got our brand new website, www.tansy.tv. We're going to be around here today at Bett, but also you can reach out to us if you'd like us to visit your school and get your school more active.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome to another conversation on the Check It Out show live from Bett 2023. I nearly said Bett 2022 then, where's the year gone? I'm really pleased to welcome Michael Alagandri from Exam Solutions. On the Check It Out show, Michael, we ask a few simple questions. Okay. The first one is, in a bit like, and you're probably too young to remember, it's still a black, what's your name, where'd you come from, but who are you, what's your company, and what do you do? What's your elevator pitch for your business?
Yeah, so I'm Michael Olagunju. I'm the Director of Exam Solutions, and we are an education platform that use AI to predict students' grades and then recommend them the right content or tutoring to help them to level up. And we're doing that specifically for STEM subjects.
Brilliant stuff, thank you very much. There's quite a lot of companies that talk and say that they're using AI, as you're well aware, right?
Yep.
So what makes your product different to others within that sort of space?
Yeah, so I would say the fact that we're using AI to solve a problem that is slightly different in that we are really interested in the true skill level of students. So we use AI to determine the true skill level of a student and then predict their grades. And what makes us different is the accuracy of predictions. So in terms of accuracy, we're probably around about 85% accurate in terms of predicting the grades, which then gives us the ammunition to provide them with the right activities to do to level up. Okay. As well as that, we're one of the early adopters of ChatGPT technology to enhance learning processes as well as the sort of assessment procedures.
Brilliant stuff. Well, thank you for that. How do you think your product, Exam Solutions, sort of best serves your audience, and who are your audience?
Yes, our audience are particularly sort of GCSE/A-level students. We have around 200,000 YouTube subscribers, millions of students that use the platform, and schools as well. How do we feel it best serves them? By providing comprehensive content that's really easy and quick to consume. And now we're adding the tech layer onto it, which I think is really going to enhance their process, their learning process.
Brilliant stuff, thank you. I want to ask you a question about our stand. So you're not actually representing at Bett this year.
Yeah.
What do you think of our stand and what we're doing here at Bett? What do you think of it?
I think it's amazing. I mean, to start with, the people here are super duper accommodating. They've been super knowledgeable, and just to learn about all of the different partners that you guys are working with, it obviously gives you guys a lot of notoriety. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing what you guys are doing.
That's really kind of you to say. Thank you so much, Michael. Well, listen, if people want to find out more about your product, where can they go to?
So yeah, check us out on examsolutions.net, which is our website. We're also on Twitter at Exam Solutions. Where else are we? We're on Instagram, Exam Solutions Guy. So yeah, and
you
the
mentioned,
YouTube channel.
you mentioned your YouTube channel. Is that Exam Solutions as well?
That's also Exam Solutions, yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Well, you've heard it first. Just Google Exam Solutions and you will find everything Exam Solutions. Thank you for your time today, Michael. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right, so here we are for another Bett Check It Out Show special, and I'm joined by Beverly Clark. Beverly, would you like to introduce yourself before we dive in?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. So I am Beverly Clark. I'm a Tech Women 100 Award winner, UN Women Delegate this year for the UK, and I'm also an author, education consultant, and coach. And I think we're talking about my authoring today.
Yes, we are. We are talking all about your books today. So, Beverly, would you like to tell us all about your books, kind of how they came about, and what they are, and how they support children in the classroom?
Yes, of course, Kat. I can share lots about my books. So I first started authoring and writing back in about 2016-17. So I've been writing magazine articles and contributing those to publications. And then in 2016, I got an offer to write a book for adults aimed at getting new entrants into the teaching profession, specifically to teach computer science. So I have had a contract with BCS, the Chartered Institute for IT, and I wrote my first book entitled Computer Science Teacher Insight into the Computing Classroom, because the computing classroom is a bit different from other classrooms.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you've got equipment. It isn't like sitting in an English language classroom or a modern foreign languages classroom. It is slightly different, and it does come with its own issues. And so I wrote that, and I'll tell you a story. Initially, the remit was to write 30,000 words, and I didn't believe I could do it. So I did do it. I actually wrote over 55,000 words.
Wow, you had a lot to say. More than you
what?
realised, I
did.
guess. Yeah.
I wrote until there was nothing left. And that was published in summer 2017.
Yeah.
And it's out there in the wild, and not hopefully inspiring others. It is inspiring people, because I've heard people comment on it online, and people have come to me and said that's really helped me to become a teacher, and it's helped my career.
Absolutely. And what about the books that you're writing now?
Oh yes, so during the pandemic, one of the things that I did was reflect, like most of us did.
Yes.
And
I can't really help it, you had nothing but time to reflect, really.
Absolutely. So I reflected on a couple of things I've always heard in the tech industry, and that's there's a lack of women, which is true.
Very true.
And there's also a lack of representation from underrepresented groups. And I looked in the mirror and I thought, I'm a leader in computing education and tech education. I'm a woman, and I'm from an underrepresented group. And so I started writing, I thought initially one children's story, then I realized I had a series in me.
You had a series in you, I love it.
And that led to the digital adventures of Ava and Chip. And I self-published those this time, so I've now self-published 2.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Shall I show you one?
Yes, I would love to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So here I've got The Digital Adventures of Ava and Chip, Smart City. This is book 1. And Ava and Chip go to visit a smart city with their mom, modelled on myself.
Yeah, I did think there was a little bit of a resemblance, which I liked. Obviously, we need, like you say, we need more women who look like you in stories, in tech, in everything. So it makes total sense. But anyway, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, thank you, Kath. Thank you. So I've modelled it also on one of my daughters and one of my nephews, and my life experiences of taking my own children into London, mainly from where we live. And going on a day trip. So the day trips they go on have a technological angle. And so in this adventure they're learning about a smart city, they're traveling on a train, they're learning how cameras are used, data is collected, and they're learning about algorithms. It's a tech story because I really want to normalize tech stories.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really good point. And how would you say that your tech stories, I mean, I think I already know the answer to this, but how would you say that your tech stories differ from others?
Well, it's central female character, a woman, because we need to get more women talking about tech, in my opinion. It's also, you'll notice it's a single parent, and at one point in my life I was a single parent, so I think we need to show a strong role model there, taking children out and about, and also it's this whole thing about reading for pleasure around tech.
Yeah, that's a good point.
A lack of books around reading for pleasure. There is obviously an educational angle, but it should also be fun.
Do you feel a lot of the books are maybe a bit too almost instructional, which is helpful, but it's not the same as getting stuck into a good story, is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, what it isn't is saying, follow this step to produce a program. It's definitely not about that.
No.
It's not meant to be terrifying. It's meant to be embracing technology, and Ava and Chip interact with their mom and ask a lot of questions. That whole thing about the impact of technology on yourself, the community, the society, what jobs will they do? What is cybersecurity? It's just a family, just together, but including technology within their conversations.
Yeah, I think it probably also gives technology more of a purposeful point for children, because they're reading it and they're understanding that perhaps in the future they could be exploring a city like that, or they would need to learn about all these different things. And then I like the way that you've also got different questions in there that you can pose to children to, you know, kind of spark discussions and things as well. I think, it really works well together, all those kind of storytelling and tech aspects.
Oh, thank you so much, Kath. It's really nice to hear that.
You're very welcome. Right, so last thing really is just that where can people get hold of the Ava and Chip books?
Ava and Chip books are available on Amazon and also direct from myself via my website, www.avachipbooks.com. There are 2 published so far, so you've just seen Smart City, which is this one here, and there's also Self-Driving Car, which...
Yes, we should mention as well that in the latest Rise magazine, so issue 6, there is a competition to win a copy of Self-Driving Car. We've got 3 up for grabs. So if you download the magazine, if you go to netsupportsoftware.com/rise-magazine, if you get the magazine from there, you will find inside the competition and how to enter. One of the steps is to follow both of us, so follow NetSupport Group and follow Beverly. Okay. And then you've got a little form to fill in, and that's it. It's nice and simple. So go and get yourself a chance to win a copy.
And spread the news about technology books and reading for pleasure around technology.
Absolutely.
I'm quite excited about it.
I'm excited about it.
Too,
Yeah.
So hi, Mark Anderson here, and welcome to another conversation on the Check It Out show. And I'm really excited to have with me Peter Kilcoyne from Transform Education. Peter, you're here talking about a product you created with ESAM, somebody I know really well as well. Can you tell us a bit about what the product is, please?
Yes, it's something called Teachermatic. You can look at it at teachermatic.com, and it's a chat GPT powered set of generators that basically is designed to save time for teachers. So teachers will log on to the platform, they see 18 different generators, and these are designed to do things that would help them in their everyday work, like create multiple choice questions, classroom questions, schemes of work, learning objectives, FAQs, glossaries, and the sort of thing that might take several hours to do, they can use the AI and generate within a few seconds.
Brilliant stuff. Look, this is a really exciting and expanding marketplace. Lots of companies are popping up with fantastic tools that are utilising GPT sort of software behind the scenes. What sort of sets you out from some of your competitors in the space, Peter?
I think ease of use, that we've designed it to be very easy for teachers who are not confident using technology to engage with. We did a lot of piloting with 300 teachers over a few months, getting their feedback, collecting what they found easy, what they found difficult, adjusting the platform in accordance with that. And what we think we produce is something that any teacher can engage with without any training and can start generating content activities straight away.
Great stuff, great to learn. How do you then feel like it best serves your audience? Say, I know you're taking off all that feedback, but 300 is a lot of people, but it's a much broader space. So how are you best serving your audience, you think?
Well, we've just launched it a week last Monday, so it's been launched just for 10 days.
Fresh off the plate.
Yeah, we've already sold to 10 organisations, so our customer base is growing very quickly. We're very pleased about that. The initial feedback from those organisations has been very positive, and I think sort of what we're doing is just producing something that is very easy for people to engage with.
Great stuff. So we're here at Bett 2023. You're here on the NetSupport stand with us here. Did you have anything you could share about how you feel like NetSupport's doing at Bett, about our stand or anything else at all?
Well, you've got a great stand. I think that the way that you engage and support the whole EdTech community, the schools, colleges, EdTech companies, is an incredibly useful service that goes across the whole sector, and I'm sure that you've got a great presence at Bett and people value you being here.
Oh, that's really kind of you to say. Thank you very much, Peter. Look, if people want to find out more, where do people find out more about
Teachermatic.com.
Brilliant stuff. Teachermatic.com. You heard it here first. Only released in the last week. Check it out by the Check It Out show. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So, hi, welcome to another episode of the Check It Out show, live from Bett 2023. And I'm really excited to have Real Fast Reports. You can see it on their t-shirts, Real Fast Reports with us. We've got Angela and we've got Pete. Thank you for joining us. So, Real Fast Reports. I'm guessing in a Ron Seal world, it kind of does what it says on the tin, right?
You've taken the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, exactly. It is a tool that helps teachers write better school reports faster. It uses AI to do that.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Okay, so AI, how is it using AI?
So it works by teachers writing in short bullets rather than spending time crafting a full paragraph. And the AI turns those short bullets into fully written prose in perfect English.
Okay, sounds good. There are quite a few companies out there that are offering AI built into their products. What makes yours sort of different to any of your sort of competitors? Are there any competitors for Real Fast Reports?
Well, as far as we know, there are no direct competitors in this market yet. I'm sure it's only a matter of time. But yeah, so that is our unique selling point, I guess. We're providing a tool specifically to help teachers write better reports. So yeah, we use GPT 3.5 currently, and yeah, it seems to do the job pretty well.
Yeah, I would say that traditionally there are other competitors in the school report helper market, but none of them really have that much traction. They don't really have that much of a user base because they're not using AI. Their user interfaces are often quite clunky and hard to use, and ultimately, with a non-AI comment bank, either you're shoehorned into a very specific script for each student, which limits you massively, or it's really hard to make a fluid flowing report that actually sounds like a human wrote it or sounds anything like the teacher. So using AI solves all of that problems and sets us apart from all of the traditional comment bank solutions that exist at the moment.
Oh, brilliant, thanks Pete. I've got one more question about the business. How do you think how do you know even, Real Fast Reports sort of best serves your audience's needs?
Oh, we're really lucky to have several schools on board already using Real Fast Reports. They've used it even for a couple of reporting cycles, and we're gathering feedback from them, qualitative and quantitative feedback on how much time they've saved, which features they like most, which features they'd like to add, and the feedback has been extremely positive. PE departments have told us that we have revolutionized the way they write reports. We've got people saying they save 2 to 3 hours on their Year 7 reports alone, but we've also got suggestions for new features, which we're working on. So we're always trying to improve.
Brilliant stuff. Okay, well, if I want to learn more about Real Fast Reports, where would I go to find out more about Real Fast Reports?
I would go to realfastreports.com or just type Real Fast Reports into Google and we will be there.
Fantastic. Well, listen, I've got one final question for you. We're here at Bett 2023. You're on the NetSupport stand. You've engaged with us a few ways. You've had some conversations with me and other people within the business, and you're obviously here now and so forth and so on. Have you got anything you've got to say about NetSupport and what we do within education? You've got anything to share about our software or how we work in education at all?
Yeah, I mean, I've checked out briefly some of the software that you offer in terms of monitoring classroom environments and what the students are doing in the classroom. I know that you offer a wide breadth of support beyond that. I know you've got a lot of offering, but from what I've seen, it's really easy to use. The interface is great, and it looks like a really attractive product.
It's very kind of you to say. Thank you very much. Well, look, check it out. Show live from Bett 2023, realfastreports.com. Check them out. Thanks for joining us.
Hello and welcome to the Check It Out show, Bett Special. I'm here with Francis. Hi Francis, how are you? Are you enjoying Bett?
Yep, I'm definitely enjoying it, but it's definitely a very tiring 3 days, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. My feet are pretty much dead at this point.
Yeah.
So what is your service or solution?
So what we're doing at STEM at Home is that we're making science education accessible for all students by letting the students do their required high school science experiments outside of the classroom, anywhere and anytime they want.
Okay, that sounds really exciting.
Oh, thank you. We made sure it's as safe as possible. It's quite funny. I was at an investor pitch last night, and I ended up winning the People's Choice Award because one of the questions from the thank you. One of the questions from the judges were, how do you know your products are safe? Told them we redesigned all the practicals to be as safe as possible and provided substitutions that will allow the students to still get the same results, but maximize safety. So for example, replacing hydrochloric acid with citric acid, which comes from lemons, and then I just had to prove to the judges how safe my product was by literally drinking some of it right in front of the judges just to prove my safety to them.
Pretty good proof. You can't really dispute that.
I would joke to the judges and say, if I'm not here by the end of tonight, my products are not safe. But I was there all evening, so
absolutely.
Yeah, perfectly safe.
Okay, so what makes your solution different from others, would you say?
So what makes our products completely different from others is the fact that our products are designed around the UK curriculum, which also has a lot of overlaps with Australia and Canada. So what we make sure is that all the science practicals in our boxes, they're not toys. They're literally expanded versions of the required practicals that are required in Key Stage 4 GCSE in the UK. So the students aren't wasting their time by doing the practicals. The students are actually benefiting out of it. So when it comes to their actual final exams, they can do better in it. Plus we also include past exam practice, so the students are prepared academically as well.
Yeah, brilliant. No, that sounds really good. And I guess, the home aspect is probably quite different as well. And the fact that you have modified it to suit that kind of environment.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite funny because originally our products were designed for home use, but what then started happening were we were realizing that schools were buying our products much more than parents were.
Right.
So we started talking to the schools and asking them why are you buying our products a lot then?
What is it about them?
Turns out that our products are really helpful for students who are on the special educational needs disorder spectrum.
Okay.
So it turns out that if a school needs to have their learning support assistant or their teaching assistant, doing the science practical with the student themselves, it allows a non-subject specialist to help them. Plus the fact that it's safe enough to use outside the classroom meant that the learning support assistants didn't need to book out a science classroom to help the student catch up with their practicals. So we ended up pivoted towards selling to schools directly instead, because it turns out it was helping a lot of schools.
Yeah, that's really great. And what are some of the other ways that your solution has been supporting schools?
So it's been reducing a lot of teacher workload, because I'm sure many of you science teachers that are watching this would know If a student misses one of their required practicals, it's an absolute pain to organise a catch-up session with them. You have to normally do it after school.
Yep.
You normally have to do it during your lunch break, etc., etc. What we've noticed as well is that LSA, learning support assistants, were able to just be directly with their student and do the practical with them, which meant that science teachers were no longer being overworked because the LSAs were going to be with that student anyway to help them catch up. So it allowed them to actually use that time effectively.
Yeah, no, that's really great. That's a great way to kind of use that. And just a side question, what do you think of the stand and the things that have been going on here?
Oh, I think it's absolutely adorable. Those pens you
you.
guys have been giving out, the stylus with a little screen cleaner, have been absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah, thank you. They've gone down really well.
Yeah, my wife really, really likes since she's taken my one, so I need to ask you guys for another one afterwards.
Of course, you can have another one, absolutely. We'll make sure we grab you one.
Thank you.
Where is the best place for people to get in contact with you?
So the best place to get in contact with me is to either go on our website at stemathome.me or go to Google and type in STEM at Home. I'm also quite active on LinkedIn, so if you just go to LinkedIn and type in Francis Jones STEM or Francis Jones King's College London, you'll find me pretty easily.
Brilliant. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
So hi, welcome to another episode of the Check It Out Show live from Bett 2023. It's been a fantastic event so far, hasn't it? How has it been for you?
It's been amazing. This is my first Bett, same with Becky. It's been a great ride.
Brilliant. Well, I've got Vanessa and Becky from Cami. Tell me exactly, what is Cami?
So Cami is a web-based annotation platform. So what we do is we take your existing resources and we put it inside Cami, and then you just build on what you have with over 60 plus annotation tools.
Cool. Now listen, I've had a chance to have a little play with Cami as well, actually.
Yeah.
And whilst the annotation tools are really useful, one thing I really like as well, and there's actually quite a lot to like, but I'll let them tell you more than what I'm going to share. But with my teacher hat on, being so busy, how many templates, right? Tell me about the templates.
Sure. So we have a Cami library with over 1,000 resources that are ready to be used in Cami, and there's stuff for any type of subject. There is brain breaks, activities, they're drag and drop activities, and they can be used straight into Cami with all the tools, or you can save that and use that when you want to print something, perhaps. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Annotation isn't unique to Cami. What separates you out from the others in that sort of marketplace?
Probably because it's not just annotation for us. So we integrate with your LMS, you can build quizzes inside, you can add media, so it's so much more than an annotation tool. Like, we call ourselves the all-in-one learning platform, but that's because we really are. We've got the resources, we've got the annotation, we assign through your LMS, and we just kind of do it all. So it's more than just annotation.
Okay, cool. You touched a bit on the answer to my next question here as well, but how do you best serve your audience, do you think?
There's a lot of ways that we serve our audience. I think the top things that come to mind is we save time for teachers. Being that all-in-one tool, it saves you from having to use maybe 5 or 6 different tools. We've got all of those tools in Cami. We help increase engagement, foster collaboration. There are ways that students can answer questions that best suit their needs. We've got a ton of tools that help facilitate accessibility.
Sounds pretty good to me. Listen, I'm also aware that Cami is available now free for schools in the UK and the EU until the end of this academic year, is that right?
Yeah, so we're currently running a deal that allows anyone in UK and Europe to try Cami completely risk-free till the end of your school year. So I know it's slightly different with UK and Europe. We just really want people to give it a go, and we truly believe that if they give it a go, they'll fall in love with it. So.
Brilliant stuff. Well, please do check it out. Where can people find out more about Cami?
So if you want to give that trial a go till the end of the school year, so you're going to go to www.camiapp.com/UK, and then you'll be able to sign up and we'll get you set up on a trial.
Brilliant stuff. And what if you are in the EU and not in UK?
Oh, I know, it's a bit of a pain.
I know.
I promise it does the same thing.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Okay, well, look, one final question. We're here at Bett, as we said, and we're on the NetSupport stand. You've had a chance to have a little look around. Anything you could share about NetSupport at all?
Honestly, anything that helps enhance education, we're here for. We're a big education company. We love what you guys do, and we can't wait to see you guys keep growing.
Brilliant. So that's lovely, very kind of you to say. Thank you very much. Well, look, you've heard it here, calmeapp.com/UK. And from me, Mark Anderson, Head of Education at NetSupport at ICT Evangelist. That's me out for this part of the episode of the Check It Out Show, live from Bett 2023. Thanks for joining us.